Duotech Services to talk about hardware design and electrical hardware in particular. So we're talking about what are our capabilities, what services do we provide, and why Duotech Services is set to provide the solution that you need. So what goes into hardware?
Well, when we first look at hardware, we obviously have some physical constraints that are going into that. We have a package that we're putting it into. We have the mechanical design considerations that are a part of that. Where does it go? How does it mount? How do we deal with it? How do we process it? How do we assemble it? How does it get fielded? How is it treated? And then how do we dump heat off of it? Or what are the thermal considerations that go along with that? And in both those cases, we're dealing with the latest in design and simulation tools in order to solve those particular problems.
Now, when we talk about hardware, electrical hardware, typically we're talking about PCB boards. Like you said, PCB boards don't live on their own, they got to go into a case. But the PCB board is kind of the heart of the design project, right? So when we make that PCB design, the thing that we start with first, once we have all the requirements, is what components are going to solve that problem. You know, we got to look at what's the life cycle of the component, how we pick that, the requirements, the signal characteristics, the reliability, the tolerances, everything that would go into making a reliable design to solve that particular problem. Once we've selected the components, then we've got to get that captured into a schematic. And you know, we use various CAD tools and keep those up to date to utilize the latest technologies to capture those schematics that then helps us to analyze and produce that design that we've worked with.
Absolutely. And then going from that part into the part where we actually have physical hardware, we go through the step of simulation. In simulation, we may be dealing with very harsh environments. We also may be dealing with very high speed or very small signals, anywhere from femtoamps in small currents up to dealing with very high frequency digital buses in the 500, 600, 700 megahertz range, and then also dealing with RF signals and those types of projects. We have to be worried about a wide variety of things, not just, well, how cold can it be, how much can it shake, but can we actually provide signal integrity and provide a reliable product through simulation.
Right, and simulation also serves to help keep our costs down by minimizing design iterations and prototyping, because we can find those problems before. And simulation, the components, the layout, the schematic, and then even into the routing, right?
Absolutely.
So you were talking about signal integrity, you've got to be able to have that simulation that's going to deal with the actual PCB board.
Sure.
And so being able to have that tool in place, now we can lay that schematic onto that design of that fiberglass. It's going to fit in the enclosure that we've already laid out, and see that particular, you know, copper layout on that board is going to provide the cooling and going to provide the signal integrity that's required for the application.
Sure, absolutely. And when it comes to actually assembling and producing that board, we may be dealing with something that can deal with or work with a very basic material like an FR4, or we may have something that is more exotic, something that may require like a Rogers 3000 or 4000 or polyimide or a more advanced material. And when it comes into putting those devices on physical boards, whether it be flex circuits or other things, we need to be concerned with, well, how do I assemble this? Can I assemble it through traditional means? Am I dealing with pressed-in connectors? Am I dealing with reflow or other assembly issues that need to be thought about down the line? Now, when it comes to what we deal with in routing and what we're trying to get with an end product, we need to be very concerned with what goes into understanding, specifying, and also having a board assembled, correct?
Yeah, all that goes into not just having a design, but having a product. Duotech Services has a history of being able to take the problems that you have and to develop the circuitry, to develop not just a circuit board, but an entire system that is going to solve that problem, put it together, and then bring it into producible, testable item. Sure. And being able to take it through that testing phase, whether that be mill qualification testing, integration testing, or reliability testing, whatever that may involve.
Absolutely. And when it comes to coming up with a hardware design that solves your problem from the initial concept and requirements out through having a testable, verifiable, producible, reliable design, Duotech is here to provide your hardware needs, from analog filters to high-end FPGAs. Visit us at duotechservices.com or follow us on Twitter.
Thanks for watching, and fill out the form on this page if you want to tell us more about your particular project. We'd love to start a conversation with you about how Duotech Services can help meet your needs.